Wow, 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 wow. So I am a piece of shit, essentially. So, again, having issues with discipline. That hasn't gotten any better today. That's my biggest problem for me, is is my discipline, staying out of trades. And I see myself doing it when it happens, and it's very, very frustrating because the only thing my brain is telling me is you can dig yourself out of it. And that's why I have days like today and yesterday where, if the first trade I'm not green, I can't just walk away from it. I have to keep going. And that is the sole reason why I am not a profitable trader. I can't just cut losses, 2 losses in a day and be done. I can't do it. I can do it. I just need to be better at doing it. So, starting tomorrow, I need to have an entry model that can give me a good rule to get in on. Because I think that's what I'm really lacking now. Let me kind of explain why here. First trade, I went long here because we're by VWAP. So I go long thinking that it's going to keep going up and come up into this level. It didn't. It stopped me out. And then we hit VWAP, gave us a little doji here, and then we have this really strong green candle here. And if you look down, if you look at it like this looks like a good entry right here. And again, it stopped me out. Boom. Two losses in the day. So that was a $1,300 loser, and that was a $925 loser. So we're down $2,000, right? So I say, okay. So it wicks down, stops me out. Ugh. It wicks down, stops me out, and then it goes in the direction I wanted it to go. So then I think we're going to keep going up, right? Because I see this go back up. So I buy here, and then it does the same thing. It goes up a little bit, and then comes back down, stops me out. $2,800. I should have stopped down here. We're at 2,100. So we're almost at $3,000 loss on the day, or on this trade. But I couldn't let it go. I just had to make it back. So I had a small win here, again on the VWAP. So I go long again, and it's a pretty good trade. I mean, that was a $1,200 winner right here. But I didn't get this whole move up, and if I would have just held on to it instead of getting nervous and closing the trade early, because we're kind of by this previous bounce point and not too far from these bounce points right here. So I didn't end up getting in on this move. So here I had a small winning trade. I shorted it a little bit. I see it come back down some more. I think, oh well, we're gonna crack this low right here. We're gonna keep going down. And I see all these sellers right here. So I think, you know what? I'm gonna get in on a short. So I get in on a short, pops back up, stops me out again. And then I got in for a little long here because I'm thinking, we've bounced 4 times off the VWAP. So in my head, I'm thinking, you know what? If it's bouncing here, we get this rip. I think we're gonna end up going long again. And then it kind of just chops around in this area for 10 minutes. And I was 4 minutes into the trade. It hasn't gone anywhere. So I took a very small winner, $25, just to cover the margins. Look at this right now. Boom, another pop off VWAP. So frustrating. We break out of this range, we come back down, we retest it a little bit, and I took another long. Again, I'm cutting these trades I'm cutting the winners too early, and it's so frustrating when you do that. So I take another loss here, another loss here. Wanted to see another continuation, so I took a long here, and I go, okay. At this point, I'm already down. I'm down a lot, so I'm like, okay, well, I'll sell 4 of the 5 contracts I had, and I'll keep one semi-close to this previous high. I'm like, well, if we come down and touch that, we're probably going to keep going down. And I was right. So I let that runner go. That was 110. This was 1,200. I got up. I walked away for an hour. I came back, and I started trading again. And at this point, I was only down like $800. What I saw here was I saw this bounce close to VWAP again, a push back up, and then it's a higher low. So I'm thinking, hey, we're gonna come back up and retest these highs, is what my thought was. So I went long, and it starts going in my favor, making new highs, higher lows, And then it wicks down, stops me out for another small loss, $175 loss. And then I go long again, thinking, these wicks to the downside, we keep pushing back up. We're mostly staying in this top area of this range here. So I go in long again, and then it stops me out. I put my stop loss below here where it stops me out again. I see this other push up, so I try to go long again, stops me out again. So we go, another 3 losses in a row. So I go, okay, well, we're getting ready to break this low right here, and we have a lot of selling momentum. So I went short, and this was a Hail Mary for me. Put the order in here, and I put my stop loss here, and I put a sell order somewhere stupid that didn't even make any sense, somewhere down here, thinking we're going to keep going lower. And it did. But I ended up getting out here for a $550 profit. We are negative $1,800. So the first 3 losses, I would have been down $3,000, which I did dig myself out of the hole. But that's the problem, is that sometimes you can. And when it does work out, that's why people go on tilt. It could have went the other way. It could have just kept getting worse and worse, but instead it got better and better. So the first 2 trades, I should have been out at a $2,200 loss. And I should have just walked away. What I think I need to do, there was a strategy that I was using for a long time, and that was using Heikin-Ashi candlesticks coupled with the structure of the market and waiting for certain things to happen. So I would have kept myself from losing this trade. Well, maybe not this trade, but it would have definitely hit a 1-to-1. So with the Heikin-Ashi candlesticks, what you wait for is sorry about that. I might leave that in for fun. So with Heikin-Ashi candlesticks, and this is a strategy that Juver Gems talks about. This is not my brainchild because I'm not nearly smart enough to come up with this kind of thing. What his strategy is to wait for clean price action in your favor, and when the market structure makes sense, to make a trade. Had I been looking at Heikin-Ashi candlesticks, what I would have done, and if I do use this, I'm gonna get rid of cumulative delta because it's too much, I think. So the plan is to look at the first candlestick that makes a flat bottom like this, and then to put your entry above this. So the idea is the candle that breaks that high is your entry candle with the stop loss below. So our entry's here and our stop loss is here. So what we're looking for is a 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio. So you buy here. What I liked to do was to sell half of the position at the 1-to-1 and then move the stop to break even. That way, if you do get stopped out, it's not a loss, and you do still walk away with some profit. That's the whole plan. And on this, it would have worked. I would have at least got the 1-to-1 with the stop at break even if it did come back down. It would have kept me green, and it would have kept me out of getting into this trash. So like here on this one, this large put, and I know it's easy to see it from hindsight, but really if you look at it, so the market's chugging along, you see this flat bottom candlestick, you say, okay, well, that would be a good entry. We're close to VWAP, we bounced off VWAP, we have this nice doji right here. Put the entry on the top of the wick of this candle, and then the candle that breaks that wick, boom, that's your stop loss. So you go for a 2-to-1 there. As soon as it hits your 1-to-1, you sell half, bring your stop to break even. And then it would have stopped me out, but I would have had a small profit on this trade. So comes down, wicks through VWAP again, comes back up. See this new flat bottom candlestick, put our entry there, have our risk versus reward. Boom, 2-to-1. Would have hit it immediately, move it to break even. Boom, it would have pushed right through it. Yeah, you would have missed out on a lot of the move, but with this you can't, with this entry model, you can't be super greedy on it. And I know, like I said, you do miss a lot of the move. Generally, whenever you see these flat bottom candlesticks and you do have a trending day, kind of like today, it ends up working out. but you're above the VWAP, it's touching VWAP, it's bouncing off of it. This would have been the perfect entry strategy to get in on these trades. When it's super wicky, like right here, it keeps you out of chop, and that's where a lot of people lose their money. Why would it make sense to go short here? But I did. Why would it make sense to go long here? But I did. So here's your flat bottom candlestick. Entries here. Boom. 2-to-1 risk reward ratio. That one would have hit too. I think that's what my plan is going to be from now on, is going back to this entry model, as long as it lines up with market structure properly, right? Because when I was using this before, you know, I wasn't really looking at market structure. I was just seeing flat bottom candlesticks, and whichever way the flat bottom candlestick was going was where I was placing my entry. And it worked out a lot without me really looking at the bigger picture. So I think looking at the bigger picture coupled with the entry model, I think this is what's really going to keep me out of over trading, and it's going to keep me away from taking a lot of dumb losses, and it's going to keep me from cutting my positions too early. It's mechanical. It provides a structure for you to get in and out on, versus just staring at the screen and going, I think that looks good. Obviously, you know, since I started recording these videos, like, it's super frustrating for me to have to sit in front of this camera and make this video on why I suck at trading. When I know why I suck at trading is because I'm over trading, and that's it. If I wasn't doing that, I would be a profitable trader. And I think having a super structured entry and looking at market structure and the way it is, and as long as I stick to it and I don't make dumb trades because I'm bored. I also need to make a rule for myself. You know, if I don't see a trade in the first 30 minutes, you know, skip the day. Skip the day. Maybe try to trade power hour, because that's when a lot of really clean, nice price action comes in, is during that time. So maybe that's what I need to do. Anyway, I hope the rest of you have a great day. Bye-bye.